Once, long ago, in a land far away, there lived four little characters who ran through a maze, looking for cheese to nourish them and make them happy. Two were mice, named Sniff and Scurry, and two were little people, beings who were as small as mice, but looked and acted like people today. Their names were Hem and Hoa. Due to their small size, it is easy not to notice what four were doing. But if you look closely enough, you could discover most amazing things. Every day, the mice and little people spend time in the maze looking for their own special cheese. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, possessing only simple load of brains but good instincts, searched for the high nippling cheese they liked, as mice often do. The two little people, Ham and Hoa, use their brains, feel their many beliefs, to search for the different kind of cheese, with the capital C, which they believe would make them feel happy and successful. As different mice and little people were, they share something in common. Every morning, they each put on their jogging suit and running shoes, and down a maze looking for their favorite cheese. The maze also references the corridors and chambers, some containing delicious cheese, but there are also dark corners and blind alleys leading nowhere. It was a neat place for anyone to get lost. However, for those who were brave, the maze held secrets that plagued them enjoy a better life. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, used a simple trial error to find new cheese. They ran out one corridor, and they proved that they turned the ran down another. They remember to help the cheese and quickly in new areas. Sniff will smell out the general direction of cheese using of the great new the Scurry lace head. They got lost in respect in the often wrong direction and often bumped into the wall. However, the two little people, Ham and Hoa, had very complex brains. With the leaves some emotion, the made life in the maze more complicated and challenging. Daily life the more sophisticated may find cheese, depended on their ability to think and learn their past experience. Over their ability was sometimes clouded by the way look their things. Eventually, their own way, all discover what they are looking for. They each found their own kind cheese one day, and they ate of the one corridor in cheese station C. Every morning after that, the mice and the little people dressed in their learning gear and headed over to use station C. It wasn't long before they each invested tea. It continued to wake earlier every day and raced through maze, always following the same route. When they arrived at their destination to look at their learning shoes, they two together hung on their necks, so considered quick whenever they needed them again. They enjoyed the cheese. In the beginning, Ham and Hoa also raced to cheese station C every morning to enjoy the tasty morsel with them. But after a while, a different routine settled with people. Ham and Hoa walked each day and little later, dressed a little slower and walked to cheese station C. After all, they knew where the cheese was now and how to get there. They had no idea where the cheese came from or could put there. They just assumed it filled there. As soon as Ham and Hoa arrived cheese station C each morning, they settled there and made themselves sit at home. They hang up their jogging suits, put on their long shoes, put on their slippers. They become very comfortable and found the cheese. "This is great," Ham said. "There's not cheese here lasted us forever." The little people felt happy and successful and thought they were now secure. It was wrong before Ham and Hoa regarded the cheese they found cheese station C as their cheese. It was such a large store of cheese that they eventually moved their home to become too bad and built a social life around it. To make them feel more home, Ham and Hoa decorated the walls, sayings, and even drew pictures around them, which made them smile. One breath, "Having cheese makes you happy," Sometimes Ham and Hoa with their friends by the see their pie trees at the cheese station C and point with pride, saying, "Pretty nice cheese, huh?" Sometimes they share with their friend, and sometimes they didn't. "We deserve this cheese," Ham said. "We deserve a rock long hard enough found it." We picked up the nice fresh piece and ate it. After all, Ham fell asleep, as he often did. Every night the little people would rock home full of cheese, and every morning every confident returned for more. This went on quite some time. After a while, Ham and Hoa's confidence grew into the arrogance success. Soon became so comfortable they didn't even notice what was happening. As time went on, Sniff and Scurry continued their routine. They arrived there early each morning. They sniffed and scratched and scurried around Cheese Station C, inspecting the area to see their unfinished change from the day before. Then they would sit down and nibble on the cheese. One morning they arrived at Cheese Station C and discovered there wasn't no cheese. They weren't surprised, since Sniff and Scurry noticed supply cheese be getting smaller every day. They were prepared the inevitable and knew instinctively what to do. They looked at each other. They moved the running shoes they had tied together and hung convenient around the neck, put them on their feet, and blessed to lap them up. The mice did not overlasting. To the mind, the problem and the answer were both simple. The situation in the cheese station C had changed, so Sniff and Scurry decided to change. They both looked out at the maze. Then Sniff lifted his nose, sniffed, and nodded to Scurry, who took off running through the maze, where Sniff followed as fast as he could. They were quickly off in search of new cheese. Later that same day, Ham and Hoa arrived at Cheese Station C. They had not been paying attention to small change placing each day, so they took a friend their cheese would be there. They were unprepared for what they found. "What? No cheese?" Ham yelled. He continued yelling, "No cheese? No cheese?" As though if he shouted louder enough someone would put it back. "Who moved my cheese?" he hollered. Finally, he put his hands on his hips, his face turned red, and he screamed at the top of his voice, "It's not fair!" Hoa just shook his head in disbelief. He too counted on finding cheese at Cheese Station C. He stood there for a long time, frozen with shock. He was just not ready for this. Ham and yelling something, but Hoa didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to deal with what's facing him. He just tuned everything out. The little people's behavior was not very attractive, productive, but it was understandable. Finding cheese wasn't easy. It meant good for more little people than just having nothing to do every day. Finding cheese was the little people's way of getting what they thought they needed to be happy. They had no idea what cheese meant to them, depending on their taste. For some, finding cheese was having material things. For others, it was a good health or developing a spiritual sense of well-being. For Hoa, cheese just meant feeling safe, having a loving family someday, and living in a cozy cottage and Cheddar's blind. To him, cheese was becoming a big cheese in charge of others and owned a big house atop Camembert Hill. Because cheese was important to them, two little people spent a long time trying to decide what to do. All they could think of was looking around Cheeseless Station C to see if the cheese was really gone. While Sniff and Scurry had quickly moved on, Ham and Hoa continued to Ham and Hoa. Hoa started to get pressed. What would happen once the cheese was there tomorrow? He had made future plans based on cheese. The little people couldn't believe it. How could this happen? No one warned them. It wasn't right. It was not the way things were supposed to be. Ham and Hua went home that night hungry and discouraged. But before they left, Hua wrote on the wall, "The more important your cheese to you, the more you wanna hold on to it." The next day, Ham and Hua left their home and returned to cheese station, seeing again they were still expected to somehow define their cheese. The situation hadn't changed. The cheese was no longer there. The little people didn't know what to do. Ham and Hua just stood there immobilized like two statues. Hua shut his eyes, tied his coat, put his hand over his ear. He just wanted to block everything out. He didn't want to know cheese supply gradually been getting smaller. He believed it moved all of a sudden. Ham analyzed the situation over and over and eventually complicated brain with his huge belief system took hold. "Why did they do this to me?" he demanded. "What's really going on here?" Finally, Hua opened his eye, looked around and said, "By the way, where are Sniff and Scurry? Do you think they know something we don't?" Ham scoffed. "What would they know?" Ham continued. "They're just simple mice. They just respond to what happened. We're little people. We're special. We should be able to figure this out." "I know we're smarter," Hua said, "but we don't seem to be acting smart at the moment. Things change around here, Him. Maybe we need to change. We do things differently." "Well, why should we change?" Ham asked. "We are little people. We are special. These sort of things not happen to us. Whereas does. We should at least get some benefit." "Why should we get benefit?" Hua asked. "Because we're entitled," Ham claimed. "Entitled to what?" Hua wanted to know. "We are entitled to our cheese." "Why?" Hua asked. "Because we didn't cause this problem," Ham said. "Somebody else did this. We should get something out of it." Hua suggested maybe we should stop analyzing situations so much and just get going and find some new cheese. "Oh no," Ham argued. "I'm gonna get to the bottom of this." While Ham and Hua were still trying to decide what to do, Sniff and Scurry were already along the way. They went farther into the maze, up and down corridor, looking for cheese, every cheese station they could find. They didn't think of anything else for finding new cheese. They didn't find any some time until they finally went to an area of the maze where they had never been before. Cheese Station Inn. They squealed with delight. They found what they'd looking for, a great supply of new cheese. They could hardly believe their eyes. It was the biggest store of cheese the mice had ever seen. In the meantime, Ham and Hua were still back into Cheese Station C, evaluating their situation. They were now suffering from the effects of having no cheese. They were becoming frustrated, angry, and were blaming each other for each situation they were in. Now and then, Hua surveyed his mice friends, Sniff and Scurry, and wondered if they found any cheese yet. He believed they might be having a hard time, as running through the maze usually involves some certain. But he also really likely won't they last for a while. Sometime, Hua would imagine Sniff and Scurry finding new cheese and enjoying it. He thought about how could be fear him to out of an adventure maze and find fresh new cheese. He could almost taste it. The more clearly Hua said himself finding and enjoying the new cheese, the more he saw himself even Cheese Station C. "Let's go!" he exclaimed all of a sudden. No, Ham quickly responded. I like here. It's comfortable, it's what I know. Besides, it's dangerous out there. No,